welcome to another episode of The Writing Finger. And this is going to be a very, very explosive episode for the simple reason that we're going to talk about the kind of books that we enjoy and also the kind of books that we don't quite enjoy, no matter what they are. Some people call them classics, some people call them, the touchstones for readers. And you got to go through the baptism of fire and so on and so forth. But whatever it is, we can tell you safely that we don't judge you by what you read. You may judge the book by its cover, but we don't judge you by what you read. That's the writing finger for you. And as always, in this excellent conversation, I'm joined by my fellow book reader, book nerd, author, and our very favorite Ashwin Karthik. Ashwin, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Right, I'm looking forward to this very potentially spicy and hot
Yes. The potential
conversation.
of it is so much that probably some of the regulars who are listening to this podcast might even say that, oh, look at them. They are creating a heresy. They should be burned at the
Absolutely.
stake. Whether you burn the
Yeah.
books or not, you should burn them both. But that's but that's okay. I think we've been told so many times by so many people that we're not worth considered, readers because we don't read certain kind of books, right?
Absolutely.
Ah, my
You
favorite, you know, I'm sorry, I can't just say, contain myself. I should say this, okay? Uh, you talk about, crime and punishment, okay? Crime and punishment. See, okay, I essentially don't have anything against Dostoevsky or Dostoevsky fans. Over the years, I think I've seen. See, my reading life is about 35 years, and I can tell you that in all those 35 years, the one name that I constantly hear is Crime and Punishment. So I tried that book. Honestly, I tried that book. Please don't blame me for not trying. That's not my cup of tea. I mean, I can't help it. It's not my cup of tea. And and I tell people that, look, it's not my cup of tea. They say that, the moment you kind of don't read such books, you can't. You're reading those trash. And I ask them, why do you call certain books trash? Okay, we'll come to that later. So what are your pet uh what do you call your pet uh, uh books in the sense that the books that you would like to put it in a blacklist and never read.
non-status.
Non-starters is a better word. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Go ahead. I'm going to pass it over to you.
So, let me begin with an anecdote, right?
Right.
When I tell new acquaintances or people who I would have met just very recently that I have this hobby of writing. I have 3 books published in my name, and the first or one of the very first few
Hmm.
questions they want to ask me or talk to me about is this book called The Alchemist. So, let me begin.
Okay.
I will
uh,
not get into challenging the fame of the book or the capabilities of the author because
right.
it is a proven bestseller. I may not be even qualified to challenge it. That's one part of it. But
Right.
it is, I mean, as a reader, I
Yes.
have the freedom to like certain things and dislike certain things.
Okay.
I mean, I will just because one book becomes a bestseller, it
Yes.
is not a mandate for every human on earth to like it. right?
Absolutely.
Every reader
Ashwin,
on
that's
earth
not the point
like,
here, okay? See, okay, certain books have a certain quality to influence you also. Let's give them uh,
mm,
the benefit of the doubt, okay? But what irks me the most, what irks me to
mm,
no end, is the way people judge you. First of all, they have no uh, sort of right to judge us in any way, whether we are
mm,
actually the readers or not. Because reading is our absolute choice and our absolute freedom. We decide what we want to read, and nobody can actually question us about it. I
mm.
mean, not least the fact that, they would come and say that, hey, you don't read this author, so you're not in that league, in the league of people, who are, who are given the high table, and, you don't have a chair in that high table.
So true, right? I would like to give this analogy. Maybe 2 decades ago, India was considered to be the third world, right?
Yes, yes,
Where the first world was the developed countries,
mm,
and India came into the third world. So there is this same kind of feeling for readers who do not read certain authors or certain books,
yes,
saying that, yeah, maybe you are a light reader. I have never come to terms with that word light reader. I mean, what on earth is that supposed to mean?
absolutely.
Reading is a pleasurable activity. You
Yes,
read what you like. And I'm not saying, as you rightly put it, that you should not read classics or intellectually
stimulating.
stimulating stuff. That's not
Yes,
the point. But it is totally your choice and your freedom on what you want to read. And to
absolutely.
label someone as a light reader or a non-reader just
Yes,
because he or she does not read the books you read,
yes.
you know,
That's intellectual
that's
snobbery. That's
exactly,
intellectual
yeah.
snobbery. Okay. And I'll tell you, see, I have a friend of mine, who reads only the romance books. Okay.
Mm,
Anything romance, she will just pounce on it and read. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that it is it's not in my place to judge whether, she should read romance, or, because she's not reading the other kind of categories of books, she should be regarded as some kind of an inferior quality, or an inferior person when it comes to, readership. Okay, that is intellectual snobbery for me. So in a sense, what we are saying is that we don't have anything against any book, okay, especially the classics. As you rightly put it, Ashwin, it they are there for a reason. They're called classics for a reason. Leo Tolstoy, Anna Karenina is classic for a reason. War and Peace is classics for a reason. And you might talk about a lot of things, but I'll tell you, my experience with the Russian writers is like, asking you to drink the bitterest of drinks. No, I
mm.
never liked Russian writers. Okay, don't tell me, oh no, you're against them. I'm not against them. It's only that as a reader, I'm making a choice here. That's all. Okay, Anna Karenina, honest to God, I started reading 5 times, and I couldn't pass. Go past page 100. Even now, I tried. I couldn't really. That shows that I'm not a close-minded guy. Even I want to boast. I want to say that, look at you fellas. I am, I deserve a place in this high table because I've read Anna Karenina, right? But
You
I couldn't
guess
succeed. I couldn't succeed,
that,
honest to God. But that shows the kind of books that I like. That doesn't mean that I'm not a reader, or I'm
just
not.
for
Yeah.
just for the reason you mentioned Anna Karenina,
Yep.
let me bring to your focus another such classic that
Right.
is extremely celebrated, right?
Yes.
I'm sure you would have read the book
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Pride and the Prejudice, just for the reason,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. These are very funny names, okay? As a reader, you have a pride. And of course, you have some
Yeah,
prejudice also.
yeah. Now,
Yeah,
now, I mean, this was one scenario where maybe me and the book got on the wrong foot, right?
absolutely.
Because when I picked up the book,
Yes.
I first had to look up the meaning
Huh.
for the word prejudice.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Right?
Mhm.
No.
I
Again,
mean, you were so young when you started reading it.
yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, the I had to go to the dictionary, and back then there was no online dictionary. Now I just key in a word on the Google and find the meaning. Back then I
Absolutely.
had to go
Absolutely.
to a physical dictionary and
And
look
go
up.
to the word letter
Yeah,
T, and then yeah,
for given the strength of my hands, it's a very laborious type
activity.
of
Yes. Yeah.
activity.
Sure.
So maybe it is just that me and the book got on the wrong foot to start with. But then again, the vocabulary of the whole book was for me
Yes.
at that age, right? Very, it was overwhelming.
Above your grade or
Yeah,
above your grasping ability.
yeah,
But okay, now if somebody had given you Cinderella and the Seven, this one, you would have probably read that, and probably if somebody had given you Around the World in 80 Days, I'm sure you would have enjoyed
absolutely.
reading it. You know,
Around the book world in 80 days was a breeze,
it was a
right?
breeze.
The
Yes.
absolute
Yes.
fantastic read. You
Yes.
know, the book is for people who have not read it. It is a very thin book, just
Yes.
about 76 pages to be precise. But
Yes.
the way the story has been carried out, an excellent read.
Absolutely. No, I would
Absolute,
definitely agree with you. Yes, and I read it
yeah,
as a 14-year-old, and
yes.
I never looked back. I think that was the time I started reading, and I would say that that from that time on, I never looked back, because that is definitely one of the best books that I've ever read.
Absolute magical reading, right?
Yeah. Yes.
The story carries you along with it,
And
right?
Ashwin, what irks me to no end is also the fact that we read serious books. It's not that we don't. It's not that we always read the Harry Potters,
No,
or the rom-coms and chiclets and all those. We're not the Mills and Boons kind of people. We are not that.
uh,
We are something more serious. And I'll give you an example. See, if you read people like Louis L'Amour,
mm,
or people like Harper Lee, To Kill a Mockingbird, those kind of books are also very interesting to read. Okay, there are big, huge, voluminous sort of books. Okay,
uh,
so I feel that we read serious books, but they are not necessarily labeled as
again,
classics, right?
and no, I mean, for your point, we in our previous episodes
Yes,
have discussed in detail books like the Himalayan Yogi
yes. Himalayan Yogi,
uh,
Autobiography of a
or
Yogi.
no, I mean, the books I mentioned now cannot be more serious than those books, and
Yes.
we have celebrated those books no end to no
Yes,
end,
in this
right?
very platform we have done it, and the point is that's what is hurting you, right? When someone comes and tells you that, someone told me to my face one day that because you have not read Kafka, or you've not read you know other kind of books, you are not worth calling a reader. You're not a reader.
Absolutely,
You're those consumer of those trashy stuff. I said, how can you call anything that is trashy when that's so entertaining? When that's so engaging, and it kind of it sometimes stimulates you to the extent that you want to write something good like that. How can you call that trashy? That's
but
judgmental.
on the same lines, when you said that there are comments that you only like entertainment, I would again, challenge that side of the argument. Again, no disrespect to the author I am going to mention now.
Yes.
But again, he is one of the most successful
Yes.
authors as far as Indian context is considered,
Yes.
and in no way I am going to disrespect him. But on the same lines, again, I'm sure you've already realized who
Okay.
I'm
Go ahead. I think I'll give you
going
the
to
pleasure of
mention.
disclosing the name.
Right.
Mm.
So his books are now blockbuster movies,
Absolutely.
and then
And there is an
when
accusation that he writes his book more or less like
a movie,
scripts for a movie.
yes.
Yeah, exactly.
So I am sure that most of our listeners also would have
Yes, yes,
realized
yes.
with all the
Absolutely.
hype
Absolutely.
I'm giving him, right?
Yes,
No one but Chetan Bhagat, right?
absolutely.
There are no two ways that many of um, the readers consider uh, his writing were
Yes.
extremely entertaining, right?
Yes.
And when I read the first of his books, I also felt the same. But after reading, you know,
Hmm.
a few of his books,
Yes.
I kind of started feeling that a lot of sameness in his in
Not
his.
not only that, I think it's more see there are two kinds of writers, as you know.
Mhm.
One kind of writer is the one who kind of uses writing as a craft to tell a story.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
There is the other kind of writer who just goes about telling plainly the story. Okay. I think
exactly.
Chetan Bhagat
Yes.
belongs to the second category.
Second category. I
Okay.
was coming to that point.
Yes.
Yes. Go ahead. You were,
Yeah.
yeah.
The other thing is, of course, he appeals to a certain kind of audience. Okay.
Mm.
See, look at R.K. Narayan, for example. R.K. Narayan would appeal to a lot of common audience. I mean, you don't have to be, an MA honors or an MA degree or a BA degree holder to sort of enjoy R.K. Narayan. Even if you're a fifth class dropout, you would enjoy R.K. Narayan very much. Okay. And it's universal.
And
It's universal. You know,
given the
yeah.
fact
Yeah.
that R.K. Narayanan was 3 decades before
Yeah,
Buddhist,
exactly. See, the thing is like
right?
the Mysore or Bangalore or Malgudi that he talks about no longer exists in a physical sense today. But still, we enjoy him because of the intensity of the storytelling. He gives you a really immersive experience.
Yeah, and he paints a picture, right? He
Okay, yeah,
paints a
exactly.
picture of the story he's trying to narrate.
Exactly. And
No,
there's no word for which, you'll have to reach the dictionary. Every third,
yeah,
every third word or every second word. It's
yeah,
not that kind of a book. Or
yes.
not it is something, it talks about a philosophy that's so deep that your hair starts to fall, the moment you start reading it, and you get wrinkles, and then you have black rings around your eyes or something like that. It's not that intense. It is basically so entertaining and also informative. It talks about a culture. It talks about Graham Greene, when he first read RK Narayan, he said that I'm not able to understand half of what this guy is talking about, but I know that the story is fascinating. And that's how he recommended the book to his publisher, and that's how
Yes.
today we've kind of come to know
Malgudi did.
RK Narayan. No, Swami
Yes.
and Friends. Swami and Friends, his first book in
Yeah,
1933,
yes.
and that was, that's the power of his writing. You may not understand everything he says, but he keeps you captivated. Okay, there are certain elements which you really have to really stick to the book to enjoy. I don't know. There are some writers who are not like that, but that is not to say, we shouldn't
And
do the same mistake as we are accusing others, the snobs of. We're not snobs. We don't belong to the snob
and
category.
and also
Hmm.
again to reassure our listeners that we are not saying that just because you read Chetan Bhagat, you are non-reader. No, no, not even once can we say that? And
Absolutely.
as I said, there's no disrespect to Chetan himself also.
Mm,
Again,
absolutely.
we as writers and readers know for the fact that it takes a lot of effort to write a story.
Exactly.
It is just that we are sharing the
It
only
is our perspective as a reader. It's not.
yes,
It doesn't mean that you should have the same perspective
yeah,
to kind of enjoy what we are saying. No, you may have a difference of opinion about what we are saying. You may have a different opinion. You can always go ahead and express those opinions in the comment box. But more than anything else, I we want to know. We are very curious to know, isn't it, Ashwin? What people generally think about classics, and today we've discussed a lot of those titles, but I'd like to know what our listeners think about classics, and what is their attitude towards classics. Do they really think that, hey, Ashwin and Subramani, you are actually missing something, or are they saying that, yeah, you're absolutely right, I thought the same when I read the classics. It's just, for me, it's not connecting. So I think we should listen to the opinions of people, and maybe over the period of time when we interview a lot of guests who might come to this podcast, probably we will ask them the same question, isn't it?
absolutely. So for now, looking forward to what our listeners have to say. It's me, Ashwin, signing off
And
for today.
Subramani, along with him, we're signing off today. And happy reading. Catch up later.
Bye for now. Thank you.